Anyway, this is an MP-153 shotgun made in Russia by Baikal. In America, this is marketed by Remington as the SPR453 Spartan. As far as I know, they're the exact same thing. Remington just gets these out of Russia and then markets them under a different brand name. They go down the same way though. So, as always, to get started, you need to make sure that it's empty. Check out your magazine first. My magazine's completely empty. There's no spring, no tube, no follower, nothing, just an empty tube. Because it's a busted magazine. Anyway, normally this carry latch handle can be locked into place if your trigger is decocked, in which case you're going to push down your bolt release, that button right there, and while holding that down, then push down your latch handle. Check it out. Anyway, once you check your magazine, you can lock your bolt back. If your trigger is decocked, it'll lock back automatically. Otherwise, you're going to have to cock this carrier latch handle right there, and then it'll lock open. If your mag's full though, obviously it'll keep on loading, in which case just cycle it back and forth. So to start disassembling this, start out with your action open, because when this is closed, it's going to be put in major force, well not major, but some force on the barrel, which can push it right out. So to get started, just screw off this magazine cap here. And normally you have another cap under there, but like I said, mine doesn't have it because it's busted. You can slide your entire forend right off after that. And you can see while doing that, it'll also start taking the barrel off. But can't take your barrel off all the way though, because as long as this is open, all this stuff will be keeping it back. It's not going to let it go off. So you're going to have to close your action again, but don't let it slam down, otherwise it'll blow this right out. Just lower it down gently. And then your bolt will push your barrel out the rest of the way, and you can pull it out by hand. After that, you need to get your bolt out. The only thing keeping this bolt in here is that cocking handle, and it is under spring pressure, so push it in with a finger so it doesn't fly out, and then you can pull your cocking handle right out by hand. Yours might be tighter than mine, in which case use a screwdriver or something to pry it out, and then you can let spring pressure just naturally let the bolt out. The bolt comes right off these guide rails. You can lift it off, and this guide rail, you have to lift it up at an angle like that, and then it'll come off its notched cutouts. Everything else pulls off, your gas assembly here, spring, and finally you have a metal ring there, which doesn't really do anything, it just acts as a buffer between the recoil assembly and your receiver. So that's it. This is mostly a stripped shotgun. You can clean everything out pretty good, but if you want to, you can also take out your trigger assembly. To do that, you need to punch out these two pins. I don't have a drift punch, so I'm just going to be sticking with a screwdriver. Make sure that you actually do this on a soft surface or lift your shotgun up a bit, because if you do this on a flat, hard surface, these pins are just not going to come out. You're going to dig into the surface under it. So I've just got soft cushion here, so I can go ahead. Just put some real force on the pins until they pop out. That's one. And as far as I know, you could do this safety on, safety off, trigger cocked, decocked, it doesn't matter. And that's two. So once you get those pins out, your trigger assembly will just lift right out. This part's going to lift out first, then you can push it out forward. And there you go, that's your trigger. And that's it. Absolutely empty shotgun. You can clean everything out nice and easy. If you want to take it one step further, you can also take off your magazine, which I'm not going to do because it's just too hard. But this magazine screws on. What you're going to need to do is put this in a vise, and then just get a thick screwdriver or something and put it through those two holes right there. And then just twist it right off until you can screw it off by hand. Just make sure that you put this in a vise, because if you don't, you're going to end up screwing off your stock instead. I don't know if the stock actually screws off or not, but it does screw around the receiver. So that's it.